Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We are going to get started in just a minute. I do see a few more people joining now. And so today we are going to talk about Celerant technology. We're going to talk a lot about CamCommerce, and we're going to talk about Cumulus Retail, which is the newer browser-based, web-based, mobile-friendly point of sale and retail software that's available to you now today as a CAM client. So the reason we're here is all of you are using our CAM software, and you have been in some cases for 20 or maybe even 30 years. Scott, you've been working with the CAM team for what, almost 30 years at this point, 25 years?
Well, let's go 27.
27, okay, right in the middle. So today we're going to talk about how CAM and Celerant merged about 11 years ago, and now we are all one in the same. We're all one company working together, and we have a lot of our CAM team members still here working with us today, as you can see with Scott. And so we're going to take a look at Cumulus Retail, which is one of the two software solutions that Celerant offers and is available, of course, for you to upgrade off of your existing CAM software. So before we jump into that, we'll do some quick introductions. And even before that, just so you know, we're going to have about a 45-minute session. And at the end of the session, we're going to save 10 or 15 minutes for some Q&A. So on the GoToWebinar pane, it should be on your right side, there's a line there that says questions. Feel free to ask any questions you have. And at the end of the session, we will answer all of your questions. We are also recording this session. So after the session, you'll get the recorded link and you can watch it and share it as needed with your team. So that said, some quick introductions. My name is Michelle Salerno. I head the marketing team here at Celerant. I work in our main office, which is in New York, and I'm with Celerant now for about almost 18 years. Scott?
I'm Scott Cooper. I'm an executive sales rep for Celerant Technologies, and I've been with CAM since 1996, and as Michelle said, then Celerant bought us 11 years ago. So it's been a good ride, smooth transition, and I think you're going to like what you see today.
Awesome. So with that, let's kick it off. So we are going to take a look at the product in today's session. Scott is going to give us a demo, but before we get to that, I want to just talk through a few things. Scott, if you could flip the slide there. So first, I will introduce you to us at Celerant, for those of you who don't already know. That's just a small part of our team. That's actually our team that goes to our annual client conference that we host once a year. But we have 180 team members across our entire company, including all of our CAM team members who are working with us as well. We have 7 offices. We have our main office, which is in New York. That's where I typically work out of. Then we have our California office, which is our CAM office. We also have an office in Atlanta, Georgia, Texas, the Caribbean, and South Asia. We at Celerant have been serving the retail industry for over 23 years. And of course at CAM, I think it's more like 37 years in total. But across all of our retailers, we have 1,800 clients using our software. And we serve multiple retail industries. So everything from soft goods, clothing, footwear, to gift shops and sporting goods, outdoor sports, hunt, camp, fish, even museum shops, bookstores, spirit stores, and everything in between. And on the next slide. So a lot of you are here today looking to update your point of sale and maybe even your e-commerce. And so you're using probably Retail Star or maybe Cam32, and some of you are probably on Profits. But either way, our Cumulus Retail platform or our Stratus Enterprise platform as well, both of those software solutions are browser-based, they're mobile-friendly, and the Stratus platform connects in real time. So all of your store locations and your e-commerce, everything is natively one database and in real time. So today you may be looking to upgrade your point of sale. Maybe you want to use mobile point of sale on tablets. Maybe you're looking to create an e-commerce site or revamp your existing site. Some of you may still have our iStar websites that were offered once by CAM. And so what we can offer is a unified platform for your point of sale and your e-commerce. And depending on the market that you serve and depending on the vendors that you order from, we also offer all sorts of vendor integrations to help you streamline your ordering process and even some online product feeds and dropship. Now, that's what we consider phase one. But the biggest differentiator for us at Celerant is we can help you with so much more than that. So that's where we'll start. We'll get your business using our newer point of sale and integrated e-commerce. But then as phase two, we can help you even expand your business even further. We can offer things like SEO services. So once your website goes live, we have a full digital marketing team who can help your website be more successful. Do the ongoing search engine optimization services that are so needed so that you can rank better on Google and be on page one and be more competitive. We also offer email marketing. So probably a lot of you are doing email marketing. And if you are, you're probably using Constant Contact or MailChimp, and you're probably just sending out mass emails to your entire customer base, which is good because you're definitely, getting started with email marketing. But what we can offer at Celerant is our integrated email marketing platform that would replace Constant Contact or MailChimp, but it's integrated with our software. It pulls customer data, sales data from your store and from your e-commerce. So you can send out really personalized emails based on triggers in the software. So it's really taking that digital marketing to the next level. We also offer marketplace integrations. Now, you don't need our software to sell on marketplaces, of course, Amazon, eBay, Walmart, but through the integration, you can really streamline the process. You can pull back your orders. They're going to flow right into the system as if they're coming from your own website. And you have connected inventory. So as soon as a sale is made in your store or on your website, it's going to reflect on that marketplace without you having to do anything. Now, phase three, when you're ready, we can even help you take your business further. We offer mobile shopping apps. So not only can you launch an e-commerce site and manage it from your point of sale Celerant software, which Scott will show in a couple of minutes, you can also launch your own branded mobile shopping app that your customers can download on their phones. Now, you may think, well, how can I manage another channel? This is going to be too much work. Well, the way the system is integrated, everything is updated in one place, your Celerant back office software. So Scott will show, but from that Celerant back office software, you can have all your products managed there. You can click sell on web and you can post it to the website. You can post it to your mobile shopping app. You can make pricing changes. You can do anything to your products. It's all managed in one place and reflected on all your channels. So it really helps to save time. And the benefit of having your customers download your mobile app is you're in their pocket. Literally, you're in their pocket on their smartphone. And you can do all sorts of mobile marketing. You can send push notifications. You can bypass spam filters altogether because you're sending it directly to their phone. So all sorts of marketing opportunity available once you have that mobile shopping app and you get your customers to download it. All right, next slide. So we are going to look next at the product demo. So Scott is going to show us the Cumulus retail software. We're going to look at the back office software. We're going to look at ordering. Then we're going to ring a sale, look at the point of sale. We're going to look at some reporting, and we're also going to look at some e-commerce sites. Now, if you want to have a more detailed one-on-one interactive demo, of course, we're happy to schedule that for you. But for today, we're just going to keep it kind of high level just to show you an overall view of the software platform. Go ahead, Scott.
Okay. Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
All right. Okay, so this is Cumulus. Like Michelle said, it's a browser-based solution, meaning you can access it basically from anywhere in the world on any device that has a browser, which means to you as a retailer, you can be very mobile. And if you do trade shows or events off-site, if you want your shoe salesperson walking the floor with a tablet, being able to check inventory before they have to walk back in the stock room. So there's just a lot of advantages to the flexibility of the way this software is set up compared to Retail Star. Now, you will see that there are a lot of similarities between Retail Star and Cumulus, but there are some major differences as well. It's not the exact same product, but like I said, there are some similarities. So the first place I want to start would be in the admin section. And I just wanted to touch base on a couple things here. If you were to decide to go from Star to Cumulus, you would be assigned an implementation manager, and they would stick with you from start to go live date. So you have continuity of training, and it works out really well. It's a good smooth flow. The transition from Retail Star to Cumulus is not seamless, but we're getting really close to that. So as far as setting up the system, it's a lot more logical than Retail Star in that most of the setup stuff is right here in this place here. We do have a buying club or loyalty program built within the software. It works similar to Star. For those companies or retailers that can buy the same brands from multiple distributors, we do differentiate between brand and distributor or vendor on our system. So you first create the product, associate the brand to it, and then if you can buy it from multiple distributors, you can assign those distributors and part numbers to each one of those products. So let's go in and take a quick look at the product record. So go into products, and I can search by any one or any combination of these fields. So I'm just going to scan a barcode in here. And we'll select this item. The pencil sign here is to edit the record. So it starts out on the top of the record screen here, the product record, with the brand, the manufacturer number, style number, product number, call it what you want. I think in Star it's called style. And then we put in our primary description. Description 2 could be used for whatever purpose you want. If you're using model ID in the Retail Star product record, you could use model ID in there. Now over here we have the equivalent to Star. In Star it's called department, class, and subclass. In Cumulus, we call it department, type, and subtype. We have the same three-tier model like you do in Star. If you want a more advanced solution, I'm sorry. It's not hanging up. All right, apologize for that interruption there. But I had it turned off. Okay, so in Stratus, our more advanced enterprise solution, is actually 5 tiers. From here in the center, we get to see some metrics of the product, like what's on hand, what's on order. You can also see here what's the monthly history, like the last 13 months worth of sales. This is also available while in purchasing. So you can see if that product is trending up or trending down as you're creating a purchase order for product. There's another metrics table here, which is very interesting, and that's called the SKU table. You can also define or rearrange the SKU table as far as the data sets that you want to see. Again, this is available while you're in purchasing. So here's all the different metrics that are available for you to set up. So if I went to add sales for the period and net sold, which is units, the cool thing here is that you can add a different date range for each one of the metrics. You can keep them all the same if you want. Or you can say, well, what's on order for the next 3 weeks? What I receive in the last 2 months? What I sell in the last year? So you can change the date range, hit save, and that's going to update the record for you. Scrolling on down, we have last received, last sold. Here's my current retail price, cost. And then down here, we have fields that are similar to Retail Star, which is called location, group, material, season. I think in Star, there's 5 of those fields. In Cumulus, there are 6 user-definable fields. So if you're in apparel or footwear, you may want to track season of the product, so you can take a markdown based on that product, which is old. So I can say, okay, find me out the product is from fall 2022, and we'll mark it down another 50%. You might want to use a field called location for location on the floor, location in the warehouse if you're creating a pick ticket for your website. The matrix, for those customers that are an apparel or footwear store, this is where you set that up. It's similar to Star. Let's pretend this is no longer a gift item here, but it's a t-shirt. So maybe I want to buy this t-shirt in size small through 2X. Well, I can just type in the first letter of that size, select the matrix that I want. And then if I want to buy this in multiple colors, I can click find color. And I want to say, well, let's buy this in black and let's buy this in cobalt. We'll click OK. And if I decide, well, you know what, I don't want to buy cobalt in size small, I don't even show it anywhere in the system, you can nix it out and it will make it disappear. So the e-commerce options, let me just find a different item here to show you the e-commerce. Let's search by brand this time. And I'll do a search. And let's take a look at this item here. All right, so we have the brand, the product part number, the description. It's my men's department and the type apparel and then t-shirts. If I scroll down here now to the e-commerce options, we have some basic information here like shipping information, quantity discounts. For your website, if you want to change the department type, subtype names to something a little bit more web friendly, you can go in here and do that. But the real work comes into play here under set web product details. So if you want to use our integrated e-commerce solution, you would change the main description to a more web-friendly description. So you have up to 250 characters here. And then you have the long copy or romantic copy that you can copy or paste or create your own content, which I recommend you do, or at least embellish what the vendor provides. And once you have, and you can also embed videos about the products. You can abide by Google taxonomy, which is going to help your SEO. So if we hit save, then we can say, okay, now sell it on the web, and it would get sent out to your website. Similar to the way it works with iStar, where you have your departments, classes, subclasses, and some of those other filters like the OF fields that we looked at here. If you are a kind of retailer that may have vendor integrations, if you're in lawn and garden, if you're in firearms, if you're in sporting goods, there are a number of distributors out there that we interface to. So using the vendor e-commerce data, that allows you to look at their available on hand on your website. So the way it works, if a customer places an order on your website, and if you have it in stock, it will indicate to you to pick, pack, and ship. If you don't have it in stock, it can then look to your preferred vendor first, and if they have it, can automatically send the PO to that vendor, telling them to drop ship directly to your customer.
And one thing, Scott, one thing I'll just add to that, we have a lot of vendor integrations also specifically for the bike industry and also the pet industry. And frankly, we're trying to expand on this in as many industries as possible. So depending on what your industry is, we may or may not have these vendor integrations already set up, but we are eager to reach out to your vendors, and you can help, facilitate that and work to get some more of these vendor integrations built out. We're happy to do that and eager to.
Yeah, we have a big integration with Ingram, which is a book distributor, educators resource, so a lot of different industries that we're working with. So let's just jump down here to the parts tab, and this is where if you can buy this from multiple distributors, you would add each distributor's name here, their part number, their cost, and then you can indicate which one is your preferred vendor, because it's going to look at preferred vendor first for web orders and for special orders as well. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do in a product record. Now let's talk about how do we get products in the system. Well, first of all, we're going to do a database conversion for you to get your existing database into the system. But going forward, you can either manually go into the screen that we're here right now and enter into each one of the fields that are appropriate for your business, or you can do an import. So we have a product import, which is similar to Import Star, where you're mapping data from the vendor CSV file to the appropriate fields in Cumulus. But the import program in Cumulus is a lot more intuitive than what you see in Retail Star. And then the third way of doing it is through the vendor integrations, where you can actually look at the vendor catalog, select what products you want to import. It can be based on their categories, like you have in Star department type, subtype, or department class, subclass. So you can import by category, you can import by a specific part number, or you can import by brand. So if you want to bring brand, Columbia sportswear to your screen, it's just going to bring up all the products that are available from Columbia. But the cool thing is that prior to importing it, you can add the system attributes. So you can add your department type, subtype. You can add your e-commerce features and descriptions and things like that. So there's three ways. Obviously, if you have catalogs from your vendors that you can deal with, that's the quickest way. But a lot of the retailers that currently use Retail Star may not have that flexibility yet. Okay. So now let's move on to purchasing quickly. Oh, wait, before we do that, I want to show you a website or two. So we just saw that Nike item. Let's go to thesoccercorner.com. All right, so this is one of our websites. They are templatized, but you do have the ability to, a fair amount of flexibility, and of course, doing your color, background colors, your store colors, put your logos on here. So this particular company elected to use these as their departments on the website. And then they have a new arrivals area. Then of course they talk about some soccer events, different club teams and national teams that they may carry their logoed apparel for. But let's go into activewear and let's go into men's shirts. And we saw that Nike shirt that I just put the long description and all the web information. So it's this item right here, actually. So Nike Dry Fit Academy shirt. If we click on that, it brings up a really nice picture, and you can zoom in and look at all the detail of whatever product they need to look at. Of course, we have availability in stock. You can choose your color if there's multiple colors here, choose sizes and widths if it comes in widths or inseams as well. And then here is their long description down here, as I showed you in the product record. So this is just one example of a site that we currently host, and it's not limited to apparel by any means. We do have some lawn and garden. We have a lot of gift and toy, some museums. The George Bush Museum, I think, is running this. Clinton Museum is running this as well. So a lot of things to choose from. Let's go back to the back office. So we looked at purchasing. Oh, no, we didn't look at purchasing list. So let's do that next. So we go into vendor management. A couple ways of creating purchase orders. You can do at once receiving, meaning you don't have to create the PO first and then receive it. You can do it all in one step. So if you're at a trade show and the merchandise beats you back to the store before you got back there and it's sitting there waiting to be received, they can just receive it right in. We can also do it based on replenishment order. I'm sorry, Ken. Okay, let's move on here. Apologize for that. So as I was saying, under purchase orders, you can do that with receiving. You can do it based on a replenishment order. Replenishment order would be fill in from sales. So you can say, fill in everything I sold in the last week in a certain product grouping or from a certain vendor. You can also do it based on min-max, like you can in Star. And you can also recalculate the min-max like you can in Star. There's a reorder worksheet, which is a really nice way of just kind of creating a PO based on an Excel worksheet first and then creating a PO from it. But let's just do a manual PO very quickly. We'll go into purchase orders. And we'll click on new. So the system will generate its own internal PO number, but I can also add my own if I so desire. You can create different PO types just to classify them. I just created a PO type first time and reorder. Then we go down to the vendor information. I can type find vendor and we'll look for Nike. Actually, let's use something different. Let's not use a apparel. Let's look for look for ABC distributors. So click OK. Now you have to give it a PO date. If you want, you can add a ship date, a cancel date, an arrival date, and these are all reportable. You can report on these if you need to see what's on order for your open to buy. And then here I can either type in the product number, type in the part number, create a new product on the fly, or find product from a list. Well, I'm just going to scan a couple barcodes in here. And then if I also wanted to find product from a list, I just want to show you how this works. You can do it based on any one of these attributes, and you can also do it based on your department type, subtype structure. So this is my department list. You have a department list in Star. This would be the closest facsimile to it. So if I want to break down hardware into smaller profit centers, I have flooring, hardware, paint, and sundries. And then I go to a third tier where I broke down paint into exterior versus interior. So let's just place an order for these products. We can say I want 3 of these, 2 of these, 3 of these, and this is a sized item, so it opens up the size matrix for those people that carry apparel or footwear. Now you notice that while I'm scrolling across here into each one of these sizes, it's showing me what I currently have on hand, on order, and if I had a min-max set up. So hit save, and then we'll hit save and exit. So you can print this in a matrix format, or I can print it in a linear format. We'll go linear since most of the stuff is linear, or one size fits all. So there's a copy of the PO. And once that product arrives, then you just have to bring that copy of the PO back up again. And just like in Star, you can do as many receivings against the purchase order as required until you know the vendor's not going to ship you anymore, or until the vendor has shipped complete. So I'm going to do action. Actually, let me do that differently. Let's check it off and do action and receive. And if everything came in according to plan, I can just say receive all. If the vendor's short shipped for whatever reason, I can go and change these quantities to exactly the quantity that's on the packing slip. Then when I'm done, I hit save. And this is the receiving document, which you then match against your packing slip and your invoice. And then if you choose to, you can print tags. Now we have a couple tag formats that are internal to the software, but we also interface to Nice Label Express. An example of an internal label here would be, now I only have a laser printer in my office here, so I'm just going to print to the Avery printer. But before it prints, I'm going to see a print preview just so you can see what a label might look like. And let's enlarge this. So with Nice Label Express, I think it's like $400. It's a one-time fee, but you can do anything with the label you want. If you have specific fields that you're bringing into your labels from, the categories or open fields, maybe a vendor code or something like that, cost code you might want to bring over onto these labels for some of your industries. But this is a 1 1/4 basically by 2 1/4, somewhere around there. With Nice Label, like I said, you can put your logo on here if you want. Okay, moving on, let's go to point of sale. So we created the product, have it in our system. Let's close that website and let's go into point of sale. So with Star, you do have 2 different tabs, one for back office, one for point of sale. But once you're in back office, you have to go through the scrolls, through the screens and everything to switch from purchasing to receiving, or for switch from purchasing to creating a product. Whereas in Cumulus here, I can have as many back office tabs open as I want. I could be in purchase orders and I can be in product management. I can have 5 tabs open up here and just bounce back and forth between them. So it's a nice navigational tool.
And one thing too, Scott, before we jump to point of sale, did you want to show the new announcement that we announced this week?
Oh, my goodness. I almost forgot. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's brand new. We just announced it this week.
I said I was going to start with that. So this is really neat. They just added this. Obviously, Star does not have this capability, but we now have a knowledge base that's part of the system. So I'm on the main screen now. I can click on this question mark up here, and basically it opens up the content page or the table of contents. So you have all these different things you can go look at. Anytime you go into a specific screen, the knowledge base will be pertinent to that particular screen. So let's close this one up.
Well, what else is really cool on that main search box from the back office software right there, you can type in a keyword. You can type in, products or whatever, and then the topic will come up and it'll put you right into that topic as well. So it's just a really great way to get faster access to training and answer questions while you're in the software without actually having to pick up the phone and call us or, flip through, 30 or 40 page PDF potentially. So.
Right. So I just typed in layaway, and you can see it's very specific as to just layaway. And you can scroll through and find what the information is that you need to know. Also, we have a lot of training videos on Cumulus. All your training sessions are going to be recorded, so you can go back and look at them again. It's just a lot of knowledge that we try and make available to you so that it just makes the transition easier. So we're in point of sale now. So the point of sale screen is very customizable. It's similar in the ability to customize a Star, but just to kind of point out these column headings going across here. You can pick which ones you want to see on your point of sale screen. I think there's 40 some to choose from. You choose the width of each one of these fields. You can also change the field name to whatever you want. So if you don't want to call it product and you're used to calling it style, you can change that name to style like it is in Retail Star. The buttons here on the right-hand side, these are all chosen by you, which ones you want to expose. So if you don't have a gun range or an archery range, you wouldn't see range management here. If you're not a bookstore, an education store, you wouldn't see bookstore here or book search. So you create these buttons that you want to see, and you also can define what order you want them to appear. let's say you do a lot of special orders in your store. Well, I don't see special order on here because on my business, I don't do a lot. So I have it under transaction type. So there's special orders. So, but if I wanted to make this more apparent, I can move this out to the main screen and move it to the top of the list. So you have that flexibility. So you can tell the system, I always want to start with the customer request. Ask the customer, do you want to, are you a loyalty customer or do you want to become one? We give our customers special discounts. So they hopefully will say yes, and you can add them here on the fly. If you want to add them using a driver's license scanner, we have that capability. So you can just scan your driver's license and it will create a new customer for you. Or if you want to look up an existing customer, you can scan their driver's license and it will find them as well. So I'm just going to start out with a basic sale, scan, scan, scan. And the first receipt of the day, that takes a couple seconds, and then after that's fast. So we scan a couple items in. And then we want to hit pay, tender out. This is an option that you can turn on and turn off. Right now I have it turned on. I'm asking my customers if they want to donate to the Lisa Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I can either ask them to just donate their change or a specific dollar amount. You define these denominations. So this is my tender screen. You create what tenders you want to use or not use. We do have an in-house account where you can assign the customer a credit limit and allow them to charge to an account. And at the end of the month, you can send them statements, and that can be defined by customer that the statement is going to be emailed or mailed, which I don't think you can do in Star. But let's just do a cash one here. And we're going to hit finish. They're giving me exact amount.
Worth mentioning too, we also have integrations to consumer financing options. So if you wanted to offer say Klarna for in-store or online consumer financing, they can do that as well right at the point of sale.
Yep. So this is another option you can turn on and turn off. You can actually have your receipts go right to the receipt printer, or you can have the green option pop up. Hey, Mr. Customer, do you want me to print, email, or both? Let's say he wants it printed this time. So at this point, we go right to your receipt printer. Because I have a demo system set up here, I want to do a print preview so you guys can see what a receipt looks like. And this is an example of the receipt. We have the clerk, store number, salesperson, of course the products, and then we have it barcoded on the bottom, and there's my policy statement on the very bottom. Okay, so let's take a look at what a customer record looks like within Cumulus. So I can either type in their last name, their email address, their phone number, or I can scan their driver's license. So I'm just going to type in last name here. Brings up the customer's name, address, email address. That also tells me he's a member of my wine club, and he has a boatload of points in the loyalty program. So then I can scan some items in. Oh. And then if we want to tender out, well, actually, before we tender out, let's take a look at the customer record. So click on customers, and I'm going to view customer. Loading. Okay, so we have the first name, middle name, last name, company name as well. Maybe they're, you do commercial sales work boots to different companies around town. So you can do that. That's the company they work for. This is where you can assign permissions to email, call, or send text messaging. We're just started out doing text messaging, and we don't have many triggers created yet, but we're working on that. So that's kind of an exciting new thing. Customer address, comments. These comments can be for your reference in the back office, or they could be something you would print on the receipt for the customer. So every receipt Mr. Wiener gets, it's going to say, thank you, Mr. Wiener, for your business. As many ship to addresses as you want for like for e-commerce, they might have a winter home, summer home. Advanced profile. This is where you can categorize your customers for marketing purposes. And there's driver's license information, additional phone numbers, birthday. So if you want to send a discount coupon out their birthday month, you have the ability to do that. Membership rewards. This is telling me how many rewards they have, reward points. And you can set a threshold on them being able to redeem the rewards, that they can only redeem like $10 at a time or $30 at a time. We can also do discounts for customers. So this customer actually is an employee, so he gets cost plus 10% because that's what I define for the system. So you can create as many different templates as you want. You might sell uniforms to the police department. and everybody in the police department gets assigned that particular template, and the discounts get appropriately charged at point of sale. I did mention that we do have the on account where you can allow the customer to charge, and that's it on the customer record for now, except for we want to look at their purchase history. So the spouse comes in and say, hey, what has this person bought recently? So first of all, you see their total sales this year and sales to date. And I can view every single item that they purchased since the beginning of time. I can recall any receipt and print it again. And brand stats is just something that tells you where they like to spend their money. What's their favorite brand that they purchase? So he likes Under Armour a little bit, but he likes luxury gift sets even better. So hit pay. And this is popping up saying he has a $30 voucher available through the frequent buyer program. Mr. Weenie, would you like to apply that now? He's going to say, yeah, sure. So we'll say yes. Donation, we'll say no to that one. And this time we're going to take a check. Now you can take as many different tender types as you want, just like you can in Star, and apply it to the sale. I'm not going to show you this, but I want to discuss it a little bit, and that's with special orders. If you do a lot of special orders, we have a really nice audit trail through the system. So you put the customer on here, assign it to a special order, and then put the item that you're trying to order for them that you may not have in stock, or it's a new item you're trying to get for the customer. So once you've created that special order and he's put a deposit on it, actually in Cumulus, you can require a certain percentage in the deposit, could be 50%. So it'll calculate that for you. That's not something that Star can do. So it calculates the deposit, customer leaves. Now somebody has to go place the order for the product. So we go into the back office and vendor management, and make POs from customer orders. So you can do it based on a customer, find me all his special orders. You can say, find me all the special orders for a specific vendor, or you can search for every single special order out there that doesn't have a PO attached. So I'll just go to the bottom here and take this last one. Let's see, let's just do this item here. So the action, make PO. So it's gonna make the PO. And we're gonna order from, we'll just find a vendor. We'll order from ABC Distributors, click OK. Make PO. It's going to ask you, do you want to look at it now? Well, in a lot of cases you might, because the vendor has a minimum that requires you to add additional products to this PO. So I can add my additional products, but you notice, or maybe you won't notice, but there is a new tab here called Customer Orders. So this tells me that on this order, this also is evident in receiving as well, that on this order there is a special order for a specific customer. If you click on that button, it tells you who it's for, gives you their phone number, and what the product is. This will also print on the receiving document for you who's doing the receiving, just to remind that person to make sure the customer gets called.
And Scott, before you jump off this screen, I just want to point one more thing out, going back to that knowledge base. Scroll back up again just for a sec. So when you're new to Cumulus and you're learning the system and you're poking your way all through the system and the many, many pages that are available, you'll see that little question mark at the top, right? You've maybe noticed it on every single page. When you click on that question mark, it's now going to drop you into the topic in that knowledge base that we talked about earlier. That's going to define what this page is all about, give you screenshots, steps, training on how to use that page and what that is for. So it's super helpful, especially as you become a new Cumulus user or new team members on your staff.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys access the Retail Star manual, but stuff in that manual is hard to find, whereas this makes it so much easier. All right, so the last thing that I wanted to get to in the last 6 minutes here before we start Q&A is the reporting. So let me scroll up here to sales tracking. There's a number of different types of reports in sales tracking, like show me all my layaway receipts, show me all my returns or my voids, merchandise sold reports, register summary. You guys will probably recognize this as far as the look and feel of it, because it was taken exactly from Star. By the way, this program, Cumulus and Stratus, has evolved because of us taking the best features from Retail Star and the best features from our old product at Celerant called Command, and combining them into this very much user-friendly software. So I'm going to click on search find one of these days here to do an action and print register summary. So this is formatted almost exactly like Retail Start, where we have sales by department, ship, returns, layaway, special orders, then transactions by sales associate. There's my tax summary, taxable and non-taxable sales. Transaction summary goes in a lot more detail as far as like paid ins, paid outs. Then we have our payment summary, cash on account, personal check. And lastly, credit card. I don't take credit cards in my demo system because I'm not connected to any particular processor, but it will show you by credit card type what the dollar amounts are. Okay, but the gem of Retail Star is also the gem of Cumulus, and that is the report writer. So we go into reporting, and just the basic reporting button here. This is showing, most of these reports you're seeing here come with a system. So it's similar to the first 36 reports I think you see in Retail Star, but they're grouped much better here than what you have in Star. So here's the customer report. So if you want to do a mailing list or an emailing list, you can do that from here. Merchandise sold reports. Now I say these are canned reports because you can't change the column headings in these fixed reports, just like you can't change them in Star. But if we go into like the department sales report, I can change the date range to whatever I want. I'm running year to date right now. Select what store or stores you want to run the report for. And then you can add as many filters as you want. So maybe I want to look at a department report and just base it on brand Adidas. So now it's going to show me all the sales in Adidas by department. If I change my mind, I'm going to hit remove, and I'll hit run report for the entire company. So here's an example of a report that comes with the system. So we have units sold, cost of goods, discounted, original price, percent gross profit, and dollars gross profit. So, but with the report writer, you can define reports a bunch of different ways, and I'm going to go through that in the last 3 minutes here. Hopefully I can get through it quick. So we go report designer, and I'm going to search for a report that I created. And of course, you can filter or sort by any one of these column headings. So I'm going to look at the department class return on investment report. So just like in Star, you have to give it a name, you give it a description. You can say unlimited columns. Report options, you can do it based on the initial sale date, or you can do it based on when it was closed. You can also run secondary dates side by side. So I can compare Black Friday weekend of 2022 to 2021 using 2 different date ranges. Of course, select what stores I want to run this for. Attributes, this is like the level of detail in the Retail Star report writer. So I chose to see level of detail department, product type, product, and description. You can see on the left-hand side are all the different attributes that you can choose, or level of detail. We go to the next tab, metrics. What do I want to know about those departments, types, subtypes, etc. So here are the calculations that I chose to see on this report. Gross margin return on investment is also was also available in Star. It's one of my favorite calculations as a retailer. But over here on the left-hand side are all the additional calculations that are available. And we've added some new ones, basically for trending analysis. So if you look in the bottom here, we have 1 week ago what happened: cost of goods sold, retail, and units sold. Then 2 weeks ago, same questions or same metrics. 3 weeks ago, then 4 weeks ago. So this is a really good tool for trending analysis of products, new products. Then you can define how you want it grouped. You can change the calculations here. You can change the order in which they're going to appear across the top of the printed page. You can add as many filters as you want. And this is something Star cannot do, is that you can restrict at the report level who can run this. So it could be a user group, like all my cashiers can run this report, or it could be by person, just the king of the hill is only allowed to run this report. So I hit save, and we're gonna do action and run. So here's my report. Now this report's a little bit more interactive than the first report I ran by department. So it's showing me department, but it has plus signs, which means I can expand any one of these. So I'm going to expand hardware plus, I'm going to expand paint, and now I'm all the way down to the product level. So it's giving me all the calculations, units sold, ending on hand at cost, current average cost, etc. And all these reports can go to a PDF, an Excel, or a CSV file. So if I click on CSV, show you quickly how it formats, because it formats pretty nicely. Sometimes you got to dress it up a little bit. So let's dress this up in a little bit by doing format and auto fit column width. And maybe you want to also go into data, add some filters. So now every column has a filter to it. So now I'm just interested in seeing my lifestyle items. So I can click on department, deselect all, go down to lifestyle, click OK. And now I'm just seeing the lifestyle items. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, both within the report writer and also then to format it really nice in Excel if you are real numbers junkie. But I think the report writer, I mean, the biggest reason to me to get a POS system is to be able to manage and understand where you're having your successes and where you're having your failures, being able to get data back out to make those better merchandising and buying decisions. And I think Cumulus can really help you with that. And that ends it for me, Michelle.
All right, well, thank you for that. And so, Scott, if you can flip back to the PowerPoint, I have a couple more slides I want to walk through. But before I do that, I just want to remind everybody that in maybe 5 minutes, we're going to answer some questions. So on the GoToWebinar pane, there's a question panel. You can feel free to go ahead and type any questions in there. I see a couple coming in already. So now's a good time to go and drop any questions in there. So again, as a reminder, if you want to have a more detailed one-on-one demo, we can of course arrange that. But Scott, thank you. That was a great high-level overview. So a couple more things to talk through. We have an exclusive promotion to help our CAM clients with this transition and help you get started as easily as possible with Cumulus. So we're offering first month free, and that will be for your point of sale and your e-commerce. I mean, frankly, it's for your whole agreement. So whatever you purchase, even if you purchase email marketing, you're going to get your first month free. We can also convert your data for free. So Scott mentioned pulling that data out of Retail Star or whichever CAM product you're using, and that's your products, your customers, even your sales history. We'll convert 2 years of that data and put it into your new Cumulus software for no charge. Payment processing devices you can also have for free depending on the processor that you choose. Another benefit for Celerant is we don't require you to use any one payment processor. We have 4 different options and you can choose based on what suits your needs best. We also are offering vendor integrations for free. Again, depending on the verticals you're in and the vendors you order from, if we have those integrations available, you're able to get as many of those at no charge as part of this promotion. And we put some pricing up there just to give you an idea. Point of sale starts at $125 per month. E-commerce, if you're e-commerce only, that starts around $250 a month. And if you're doing both point of sale and e-commerce together, that starts around $350 per month. And of course, if you wanted to get a more specific idea in terms of pricing, just reach out to us after the webinar. We'll introduce you to one of our sales reps and they can get you an exact quote as well. All right, so next I want to just point to a couple client testimonials. If you can, there we go. Thank you, Scott. So there's a link on the bottom there. You all are CAM customers, so hopefully you guys all are accessing our client site. The link is there, clients.celerant.com, and for this page, it's /upgrade. And so on that page, you can learn all about Cumulus. That's a page that's available on your client portal for CAM. But these 2 retailers here, you see Edward & Sons, you also see the Children's Shop. So they also were using CAM platforms. Edward & Sons was using, I think it was Profits, and the Children's Shop was using also Profits. Actually, sorry, Edward & Sons was Retail Star. And so both of these retailers have converted over to Cumulus and potentially even e-commerce and are using that full solution and have some really good experiences. And so there's a success video on that page for both clients that you can watch. And on the next slide, Scott. So Scott showed a lot of different aspects of the system, and I talked about a lot of different things too. But most importantly, I want to just wrap it up with our top 5, what we consider our top 5 differentiators. So I put them here on the screen to make it easy for everyone. If you remember nothing else but this is the most important. So number 1 is we are one system, one company for all your retail needs. You can operate all your channels, whether it's in-store, e-commerce, marketplaces, mobile apps, all of it in one system with one software provider. Number 2 is We don't just offer innovative software for your store, we also offer that really innovative online software. Especially these last couple of years coming out of this pandemic, the big shift to digital, being online is more important now than ever before, literally. So e-commerce, mobile shopping apps, everything we talked about, even BOPIS, buy online, pick up in store, same day, curbside pickup. We offer curbside pickup apps. There's so much that we can offer. And we just scratched the surface today, but all of that is one of our biggest differentiators. The third is the marketplaces. So you can sell on those marketplaces, but having that integration helps streamline the process, helps get you in front of new customers that you might never meet because you're leveraging those marketplaces. Number 4 is digital marketing. So we talked about email marketing. We talked a little bit about SEO services. We can also help you with things like content marketing. But again, incorporating that full digital strategy is what's going to really help your business be successful, and we can help you with all of it. And then the 5th part, which we really didn't talk much about here, is that upgrade path. So we talked a lot about Cumulus. Scott showed Cumulus, but Cumulus is our lighter solution. We also have a more enterprise solution called Stratus Enterprise. Both systems are for the SMB space, but retailers can start small with Cumulus, and as your business grows, we can support that growth. We're going to actually even help facilitate that growth. And as your business grows and you might need to move on to a more advanced system, maybe you have more advanced needs, you can upgrade to our Stratus platform. You don't have to re-implement a whole new system. You'll just pay a little more monthly, we'll turn on more features, more bells and whistles, and you'll be using that enterprise software. So it's a huge benefit because changing retail software is not something retailers want to do often. So being able to stay on that system and have it support your growth is super important. I think we're on the last slide. Go ahead, Scott. There we go. So there's that page again. It's clients.celerant.com/upgrade. There's all sorts of information there. There's client success videos. These are all clients who came to us to Cumulus from either Retail Star, Cam 32, or Profit. So you can go and watch those videos, get their experience. There's also a 10-minute demo video on that page as well where you can go and learn more. And again, like I said, we're eager to talk. We're eager to schedule a one-on-one demo, and we can really take you through the software to answer any of your more personal questions. So with that, we will flip to some of these questions. And again, anyone who has a question, just drop it in that question pane on the GoToWebinar. First, Michael said medical wear. I'm assuming, Michael, you're just letting us know that that's your industry, and that's great because we actually have a lot of retailers who sell uniforms. And with Stratus, we even offer things like embroidery. We have team sales, so medical wear, uniforms, that's something that we have quite a bit of experience with. Maribeth asked a question, is there an option to convert sales data in excess of only 2 years? Because of COVID and business shutdowns, it would need to go back further for us. Absolutely, and Scott, I'll let you answer that, but the 2 years, that's what's included at no charge. Scott, I think we can go back as far as they want, right?
Yeah, we can. There's just an additional fee for it.
Yeah, so it's a really good point. The last 2-3 years, it's hard to look at the numbers and really make decisions because it's been such a challenging couple of years. But yeah, for the 2 years will come at no cost, but beyond that, we can do as much as you would like, and we'll pull it into your new Cumulus software for you. Another question here from Sarah. Can you talk a little bit about the data conversion process? Scott, you want to take that one?
Sure, yeah. The way we do it is we have 2 database conversion specialists. That's all they do. So they really know their job well. But they will pull your database first and give you a converted database in Cumulus or Stratus, and you begin training on that database. So once you feel comfortable that you're ready to flip the switch to go live, they will do another conversion, which will then bring in any new products that you created and also the current on hands. And then once that's placed onto your system, then when you go live and you're good to go. That's the process. Of course, training is happening during, as soon as you get the database, you start training and cover all the different aspects of the software. So you have to be comfortable with everything before we say, yeah, it's a good idea to go live now.
Got it. Good. Matthew asked, do you have a comparison chart for the features of Cumulus and Stratus? So we do. It's a pretty massive spreadsheet, but yes, we have an entire list of Cumulus features versus Stratus, and I'm happy to share that with you, and I will. I have your email, so after the webinar, Matthew, I will send that your way for sure. And anyone else who's interested in seeing that, no problem. If you're interested in seeing that spreadsheet, my email is msalerno@celerant.com. That's msalerno, S-A-L-E-R-N-O @celerant.com. I'm happy to send anyone that sheet, but also any other questions you may have, so you can always send my way. We had another question on pricing. Scott, I'll let you take this one. The $125 per month, what does that include? I have more than one register.
That includes 1 point of sale and up to 5 back office clients. So we have an additional charge of, I think the list price is $45 for each additional POS per store. Now, if you are adding, 3 or 4 more point of sale, we can work with you on pricing for sure.
Good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like one more question. Can you tell me about the training? Is it live sessions or webinars or pre-recorded links?
Want me to take that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, the sessions are, we have implementation manager is assigned to you, one for point of sale or back office brick and mortar, and one for e-commerce if you're doing that. And you're assigned a person who sticks with you from start to go live. Like I said at the beginning, that just kind of builds continuity of the training, and you're not having to rehash old stuff with a new trainer. So that's the way the training works. It's done via a webinar or Zoom or GoToMeeting, where we're connecting to your system using your data and teaching you how to do the appropriate functions in the software. You can have as many people as you want attending that, and they can be in different places because it's going to be a GoToMeeting or Zoom. However, I do caution you in putting too many people in there because it slows down the process if you have too many people in on the training sessions. So I recommend primarily train the trainer or train the trainer plus the assistant, and then you guys train the rest of your staff. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, and I'll add to that too. A couple more questions came in as well, but I'll add to that too. We have our client site, like I mentioned. We have our Cumulus client site. There is a lot of training videos there as well. They're all broken down by category, so they're easily accessible. Your training will actually be live via web camera, one-on-one sessions, but then you'll have those recordings, but you'll also have access to the complete client site with all those other training videos as well. Scott, just flip that PowerPoint back up. There you go. And also on that client site, we have our knowledge base. So Scott showed how it was accessible through the software. Well, you can also access that through your client site. So you can just go in there, you can ask any questions, search by keyword, release notes, new version videos. There's a ton of information that we make available via the client site. And with CAM, there's those monthly training webinars. We do also offer training webinars for our Cumulus clients as well. And so those happen throughout the year. And then we invite partners to come in and do presentations for all of the new integrations. So there's a lot of webinars much like this that we make available as well for clients throughout the year.
And for those who aren't aware, if you go to the Celerant site and under resources, this is where you can access the client portal.
And by the way, as a CAM client, you all have access today, or you could have access, you just have to create your login to just click on that if you don't mind, Scott, the client portal. So we have a CAM client portal that's there already. And then of course we have one for Cumulus and we have another for Stratus. So once you click, if you don't already have an account, you can click register and create one. And we'll know, of course, because you're our client, we'll know, which product you're using, whether it's a CAM product or Cumulus or Stratus. And so we'll give you the right access based on the product that we already know you're using. All right, couple more questions came through. So Dustin, Scott, I'll let you take this one. We have photos linked to our products. With the data conversion, will those photos carry over and remain linked to the product?
Yes.
That was easy. You want to elaborate a little on that, or?
Well, it all depends. If you're using, if you have an e-commerce site, an iStar site, then it's part of the record in Retail Store, and it's stored in a separate place, but we take care of where we place it. So yes, it does get imported. If you don't have a website and you're just doing it within the software for Star, like picture recognition at point of sale, it actually requires a picture server from us to be able to do that, so it's efficient with the being a browser-based solution.
Got it. So this is a question from Maribeth. It's a really good question, and I'll take this one because it's very different from how CAM works currently. So how does support work? Same cost procedures as STAR? So currently with STAR, or even if your Profits or CAM32, regardless of which CAM software you're using, you are under the purchase model or maybe the subscription model. But in most cases, you've purchased your software, paying a percentage for your support each year. With Cumulus, it works different. It's the SaaS model, software as a service. So you're paying a monthly fee, and it could be as low as $125 a month, or depending on what you need, will depend on what your monthly fees are. That monthly SaaS fee includes everything. It's the software, it's your technical support, it's your software updates, it's the whole system in that monthly fee. So there's no additional fee for tech support outside of that monthly SaaS payment. Maribeth, another question. Also, what is the time length estimated for conversion to being live, give or take? So Scott, I'll let you answer this one. It varies, but typically.
Yeah, it varies depending on your commitment to learn the software. We have flipped a STAR customer over to Cumulus in as little as a week, but to be honest, the average is about 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, and then also, if you're looking to launch an e-commerce site, the e-commerce piece may be separate from the point of sale, or maybe we can do them simultaneously. It's really just going to depend on, your goals and what you're looking to do. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, that is the last of the questions, and we are right at 3:01.
Yep. Just the last comment. The support hours are longer for Cumulus than they are for Retail Star. Once you get the proposal from us, if you decide to go that route, the support hours will be listed in the proposal. But here's just a quick overview of those hours that are available for Cumulus.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, that wraps us up. Well, thank you, everyone. Again, I encourage you to visit that webpage. Scott, if you could just pull that up one more time. On that page, there's all sorts of information. There's a demo video you can watch. There's some client success stories of other CAM clients who have transitioned from either Retail Star, CAM32, or Profits. And again, if you're looking for that 101 demo, just reach out. We're happy to schedule that for you. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.